The moment didn't arrive quietly. It didn't creep in through rumors or slow leaks. It detonated online on New Year's Eve, instantly shifting the conversation around Angel Reese from basketball to backlash. One social media post was enough to flip the narrative, and within hours the internet had made up its mind. What followed wasn't just criticism. It was a cultural pylon that exposed how unforgiving fame can be when perception turns, especially in a league still struggling to define where individuality ends and brand responsibility begins. The reaction wasn't led by anonymous trolls alone. It escalated when Stephen A. Smith weighed in, and when he did, the tone shifted from online chatter to national scrutiny. His argument wasn't subtle. In his view, public image is inseparable from public behavior, and once an athlete leans into attention-driven visibility, they lose the ability to later control how that attention manifests. Whether fair or unfair, he framed it as a reality of modern sports culture. When the same athlete who embraces provocative attention later pushes back against being objectified, the audience, rightly or wrongly, stops listening. That framing struck a nerve because it landed on an already sensitive fault line. Reese has never been a quiet presence. From college superstardom to her professional debut, she built her identity on confidence, defiance, and unapologetic visibility. That approach earned her millions of followers, major endorsement deals, and constant media attention. But it also created an expectation that every move, on or off the court, would be scrutinized. The New Year's post didn't exist in a vacuum. It collided with months of narratives, rivalries, and comparisons that Reese never fully escaped. The backlash intensified when her social media presence suddenly disappeared. The deletion of her Instagram account became the loudest statement of all. To critics, it signaled regret. To supporters, it looked like self-preservation. Either way, the silence was interpreted as confirmation that the reaction had gone too far to ignore. In the brutal economy of public opinion, pulling back is rarely read as reflection. It's read as surrender. Smith's commentary pushed the conversation further by drawing an unavoidable comparison to Caitlin Clark. That comparison has followed Reese for years, ever since their college rivalry became a defining moment in women's basketball culture. Clark, in this framing, represents controlled visibility. She lets performance lead, avoids controversy, and builds her brand through consistency rather than provocation. Reese, by contrast, is portrayed as chasing attention in ways that risk overshadowing her on-court value. Whether that comparison is fair is almost beside the point. Once the public decides two athletes are linked, every move becomes a side-by-side evaluation. This is where the situation becomes more than gossip. In professional sports, perception directly affects opportunity. Reese's estimated endorsement earnings, once comfortably in the seven-figure range, suddenly felt fragile. Brands don't like uncertainty. They don't like controversy they can't control. And they especially don't like narratives that make them feel exposed to backlash by association. The concern voiced by commentators wasn't about morality. It was about marketability. Once a brand questions whether an athlete brings stability or volatility, deals stall, renewals hesitate, and leverage disappears. The larger issue isn't Reese's outfit or one post. It's the identity conflict facing modern athletes, particularly women in the WNBA. Players are encouraged to build personal brands, grow social followings, and monetize visibility. At the same time, they are expected to maintain an image that aligns with league values, sponsor comfort, and public expectations. Step too far in either direction, and the consequences arrive fast. Reese's situation illustrates how narrow that margin for error can be. Age complicates the conversation further. At 22, Reese is still early in her professional life, navigating pressures that didn't exist for athletes a generation ago. Social media amplifies every decision, freezes every moment in time, and invites judgment from millions who feel entitled to an opinion. Mistakes don't fade. They circulate. And once a narrative forms, it takes extraordinary discipline to reverse it. What makes this moment pivotal is not the criticism itself, but the crossroads it represents. Reese now has to decide what version of herself she wants to project going forward. The attention-seeking influencer path delivers fast engagement but unstable footing. The performance-first athlete path demands patience, restraint, and a willingness to let the game do the talking. Neither is easy. Both come with trade-offs. But trying to balance them without clear boundaries is where careers get derailed. Meanwhile, Clark's trajectory continues to reinforce the contrast. Awards, appearances, disciplined branding, and a growing reputation for professionalism have turned her into the safe bet for sponsors and league narratives alike. That doesn't make her better. It makes her predictable. And in business, predictability is power. Reese's talent hasn't vanished. Her rebounding, presence, and competitive fire remain undeniable. But talent alone doesn't protect athletes from reputational damage. The modern sports economy rewards those who understand that fame is not just visibility, but management. Every post, every appearance, every silence sends a message, whether intended or not. This moment doesn't have to define Reese's career, but it will shape it. How she responds now, not defensively, not reactively, but strategically, will determine whether this becomes a cautionary tale or a turning point. Athletes recover from criticism all the time. What they don't recover from is losing control of their own narrative. And that's the real cost of this backlash. Not embarrassment. Not lost followers. Control. Now it's your turn. Do you think Angel Reese is being unfairly targeted for expressing herself? Or did she cross a line that professional athletes can't afford to ignore? Is the comparison to Caitlin Clark reasonable? Or is it a double standard rooted in comfort and conformity? And what does this moment say about how the WNBA treats individuality versus marketability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want deeper breakdowns like this that go beyond headlines and actually unpack what's happening behind the scenes, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because this story isn't over, and how Angel Reese responds next could redefine her future in the league.